Hey guys, as many of you may know, every 26th of April, 20th Century Fox celebrates Alien Day in reference to the Alien franchise, and more specifically, LV-426. This just so happens to be the 40th anniversary of the first entry into the franchise, 1979's Alien. For that reason, I want to do a couple quick videos here to answer some of the common questions that I've heard from you guys down in the comments. Here for the first one, I'm going to give my own personal ranking to the 6 films of the Alien franchise. This isn't some definitive list, just my personal favorites, and they do tend to shift a bit over time. But either way, let's see where the series ranks for me right now. Number 6, Alien Resurrection. Now I know this film gets a lot of hate from fans of the Alien franchise, and even though I have it ranked last here, there's a lot about the film and its lore that I still enjoy. Studio interference has long been a major issue in this franchise, especially in Alien 3 and here in Resurrection, yet there's still a lot to the film that I liked. The scenes with the swimming xenomorphs may be up there in my top 10 of favorites from the entire franchise. How did it take so long for us to see this on film? I actually like the look of the clone Xenos with their bulkier look and quad stance runner-like legs. I'm always down with variants on the Xenomorphs. By their very nature, we should see different types in various environments and host situations. I could have done without Ripley showing up in the movie, or her clone for that matter, and I thought the idea for the newborn was a bold yet slightly off entry into the line of Xenos and hybrids. It kind of fits into an H.R. Giger type aesthetic. Although saying that makes me wish that he had designed this thing. It would have been much better, and hopefully it wouldn't have had that scream that's haunted my nightmares for years. Number 5, Alien Covenant with extra footage. I actually think that with time that this film may move up into my number 4 slot. Alien Covenant was definitely not the sequel to Prometheus that I hoped it would be. And unlike many fans out there, I actually loved Prometheus and wanted a follow-up that would take us to the Engineer homeworld, a Giger-inspired landscape of biotechnology. I absolutely loved the retro throwback introduction and music, making it feel like we really were a step closer to the 1979 Alien. Unfortunately, what followed didn't feel like a true sequel to Prometheus. That said, I can't get enough of the look of a Ridley Scott film. They just look breathtaking, and Covenant was a beautiful film. The views on the planet, the Engineer city, however flawed in design in my book, was still portrayed well in its own right, with an overall feeling of dread that's been with the Engineers since we first met them on LV-223. The Neomorph may currently be my favorite alien design, but to be honest, I don't think any alien will ever replace Big Chap in that standing. But after seeing similar looking xenomorphs for decades, I really like the look and aggressive nature of these xeno relatives. If you haven't seen the short clip Alien Advent that was added on the Blu-ray and 4K discs, go watch it now. This should have been the original ending to the movie, and it even ties it in with the second film, Aliens. Number 4, Alien 3, the alternate cut. I'll never forget watching Alien 3 in the theater when I was younger. I left the movie so pissed off. How the hell did such masterpieces like Alien and Aliens get a follow-up like this? The crazy thing is that this film is actually seeming to get better over time with me, like some kind of fine wine, or I guess more realistically, a good cheese. I'm actually a fan of the alternate cut's usage of the ox as the host for the alien because I read the novel before the movie came out and it was some kind of alien cattle in the book. This one feels closest to Alien as far as a sequel that still holds true to the H.R. Giger aesthetic. Even the runner itself was a design of his, although slightly altered. It's too bad that Sigourney didn't want guns in the movie either. With all the studio interference on this one and a demand like that, the film was off to a rough start. All in all, the CGI has aged horribly, yet I still enjoy the gothic feel of the sets, and I love how the alien here can mimic the stance of its host, a great addition to the lore of the series. Number 3, Prometheus. I know that most of the Alien fans wish that the prequels went into another direction, and I won't say that Prometheus is a perfect film, but I've always enjoyed science fiction movies that ask the larger questions that sometimes we're not even capable of finding the answers to. Maybe it's because I watched 2001 too many times as a kid. Again, I love the camera angles and lighting that we get in a Ridley Scott film, Yet his want and need to tone the Giger feel down in both prequels only holds them back, in my opinion. It's tragic to me that Alien Covenant went the direction it did instead of giving us that true engineer homeworld and some interaction with the engineers in David and/or Shaw. I agree with most fans that the engineer is not the space jockey that we were looking for, but I still enjoyed looking into the world of the engineers nonetheless. Here's hoping that if we get a third prequel film, that we see the engineers return to fight David and his xenomorph army for what they did on Planet 4. Number 2. Aliens. For many fans, this was their entry into the world of Alien. It was the first one that I could watch at a younger age. Alien scared the hell out of me when I first tried to watch it. For anyone that has this as their number one film in the series, I totally understand. Both Alien and Aliens are near perfect to me. I love the roller coaster ride that is the 1986 Alien follow-up. It has me on the edge of my seat watching it still to this day. The pace is relentless, yet it takes the time to let you get to know the cast extremely well. Sigourney was amazing here, as were the rest of the Colonial Marines and crew. I love the addition of the Alien Queen. I never really saw this as a replacement to egg morphine, only as another variant on the ever-changing species. Yeah, I'll admit, I like the stealthy, beautiful alien of the 1979 film more, but the aliens here were ruthless, and seeing them in numbers like this, when one is so dangerous on its own, was awesome. Number 1. Alien. This is the best movie of all time in my book. I don't mean it's the best space movie or the best alien movie, it's my favorite film ever made. The movie scared the hell out of me as a kid, and it's fascinated me ever since. There's just something about H.R. Giger's work. His biomechanical designs haunt you, yet the details draw you in. The alien is both bizarre and totally foreign, all the while being very much like ourselves. It's like some kind of Lovecraftian perversion on what could happen if science were to go wrong or become guided under malicious hands. The movie gave a feeling of emptiness to space. No other known life, no grand human questions explored, simply a harsh environment full of rock, dust, and danger. The cast and crew here were amazing, from the writers and director to the actors, stage, suit, and set designers. This movie is now 40 years old, yet the film still holds up today against modern science fiction. I just saw it in 4K and it was amazing. I can't wait for the other films to follow suit. I've seen this movie hundreds of times and plan on watching it many, many more. And with that, guys, I would just like to wish all of you a happy and healthy Alien Day, and of course, I'd love to hear how you stack up the films of the Alien franchise down in the comments.